Again, my name is Dave DeCecco. I've been the staff advisor to the popcorn sale for a few years here now, so I probably know quite a few people that are on the call. But at least you get to see a face if you haven't seen my face before today. We're excited for this popcorn season. It's going to be a fun, interesting one, but we will definitely provide as much help and direction as we can so you can support your scouting adventures. And the scouts really get the experience of supporting themselves through this process. So the overview of what we're going to do tonight, in a second here, I'll introduce Mike Fifehouse. He's our Deputy Scout Executive, just talk about some things happening in the council and provide some encouragement. But then we'll get really into the highlights that we have. There's about 20 people that are joining us tonight that were on the first one, so there will be some repetitiveness to a few of the points we make, but we have some new information, some changes that we've made as well that we want to share based on feedback that we received from that first call. So we appreciate you joining into the second one as well. But we'll go through some of the important dates, the commission structure, the pickup dates, and really the online sale prize program. That's going to be a big part of it. And we're going to offer some resources for success as well. And at the end, we'll open it up to Q&A. And I'll remind everyone, for all the new participants, that if you do have a question throughout this entire webinar, enter it into the Q&A section as you click on the tab at the bottom of, if you're on your computer, at the bottom of your screen. If you have general comments, or you just want to tell me how good my kettle corn box looks up here, go ahead and put that in the chat box. We definitely appreciate that Go Dave comment. At least I do right now. So I will turn it over here to our Deputy Scout Executive, Mike Fifehouse. Thank you, Mike, for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Dave. I'm excited to be here. I appreciate this opportunity. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who's on with us this evening. I know you have plenty of opportunities to keep yourself busy right now. We appreciate you taking the time to learn about the 2020 popcorn sale, what it's going to look like, and how we're going to work through whatever challenges that we may encounter. And I think that's kind of where we're at. Everybody's experiencing challenges, and we just want to always provide a path and a solution for all of us to work through these challenges and have the most successful popcorn sale that we can. We know how important this sale is to your units, that you are having scouts help fund your program, scouts help fund themselves. So we'll make sure they have every opportunity to do that this year. I have two scouts myself. My twin daughters are Cub Scouts. They're going into their 5th grade year. And we are looking at the opportunities for us to be successful in our 2nd year of popcorn sales. They each did a little over $1,100 last year, and we want to duplicate that effort or increase. And how do we do that in a new environment? So we're working through some of those steps in the process because we know it's important for them. They both earned themselves full pack dues for last year by selling that much popcorn. So that was really exciting for them to achieve. I want to take a minute to celebrate. Last year we had $2.4 million in popcorn sold across the Denver Area Council. And that's thanks to many of you on this call. We had a great year. We had a great achievement. Congratulations on being a part of that. And to top that off with some more good news, we already have over $16,000 in the sales so far here in July. As the most popcorn ever sold in the month of July. You might want to put a qualifier on that, but I don't. It's the most popcorn ever sold in the month of July in the Denver Area Council. So we're off to a great start through the tools that have been offered so far. Kind of mentioned it before, we know this is going to be a challenging year. Thank you for being willing to fight through those challenges with us. We want to provide every tool and every resource that we can to you to work through those challenges and be successful in your unit. We're going to talk about a lot of those resources tonight. Dave kind of briefed you on some of them on the agenda, and we'll get into some more details on what those are and what they look like and how you can implement them. I want to make sure you guys, if you're not already, checking out the Denver Area Council page on our website for popcorn. We're going to do everything we can to put information and connect you to all the right resources through our website. You see him online, and I'll introduce him here in just a minute, but Charlie will be one of your key resources this year. He's one of our key staff advisors to the popcorn sale. And when you have questions or need information and you can't find it on one of the other sources, please feel free to reach out to Charlie, and he'll help connect you to where it, either get you the answer, connect you to where the answer is, figure out what we can do to help solve your problem. We really want to provide the best possible service that we can for this popcorn sale, because we know all the other layers that you're going to be working through. We don't want our service and support or the resources available to you to be one of those challenges. So that's our commitment to you, is to do that. I'm going to officially introduce Charlie Botnick to you right now. He's one of our admins for the Denver Area Council. Right now he's dual purposed, splitting his time between our field service and our development department. So he wears multiple hats and is doing a fantastic job jumping in with both feet and providing a lot of support right now. So Charlie, I will go ahead and pass the ball to you and let you share some of those details for everybody.
Perfect. Thank you for the intro, Mike. Like they said, I'm Charlie. I'm the popcorn staff advisor this year, and then my other title is the administrative assistant for field staff. So it's been fun. It's been a couple crazy months, but it's been busy, so I can't complain. This is my first year of popcorn, so I feel like it's been fun, and I've been learning a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to continue to learn. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Some housekeeping items just before we get into the fun. I sent an email out yesterday. If you didn't receive that email, please email me. My email is below, and I will get you on that newsletter list so you can be up to date with all the popcorn information. The other thing, which is kind of exciting, is we do have order forms in the council. So if you would like, upside down. If you'd like to order these, you can either schedule an appointment to come pick them up at the council, or there is a order form online if you go to the popcorn website. So we have those, and then also the laminated product lists. We had a lot of people asking about those the last kickoff, and they will return. So excited about that. So going in a little bit into more of the details, this is the key dates for this year. First off, let's just start with some good news. Trails End just announced that this weekend from 7:24, 8 Eastern time to 7:25, 8 Eastern time, so 6 o'clock our time, it will be $3 off online shipping for this weekend. So Trails End is giving us another great way to sell and trying to make selling easier. So yeah, Trails End just announced $3 off online shopping for this weekend. So going into the dates a little bit, as you can see, August 10th is our next big date. That is our deadline for units to place that first order. Then we have August 28th and 29th, the distribution. And as you are kind of noticing this year is a little bit different. We actually have 3 pickup dates this year. So you can actually get your popcorn refilled almost every 4 weeks if you need it. With these 3 pickup dates, some of the benefits include helping units reduce the risk of inventory and keeping our staff safe with designated pickup times at pickup locations. The other thing is, with this schedule, it reduces trips to coming to the Denver Area Council. And we're still just trying, safety is going to be a big key tonight. We're trying to stay safe. We're trying to keep everyone safe through the popcorn sales. So we're just trying to limit who's coming through the council. So with 3 pickup dates, that should help as well. We do have most confirmed district sites. Dave, if you want to get into a little specific, we do have all of them confirmed, or okay, so we're still working on that, but we do have most of those district sites confirmed. Go for it.
We do. So for Western Colorado, we have that site, distribution site confirmed, as well as the Alpine District is in the Westminster American Furniture Warehouse. The Valley District and Frontier Districts will be in the Thornton American Furniture Warehouse. Those are all confirmed. Unfortunately, we have not been able to confirm the Centennial site on the east side of town, or the Black Feather site right now down on the south side of town. We are still working on that, and we're trying to provide a close distribution center for those districts. If we're not able to get those confirmed due to the COVID-19 stuff going on, we'll just say, then we will, we do at least know we can get into Westminster for some of those pickups.
And I mean, we'll have more information as the days go on. it seems like every day we find something new. So it's been fun. But these are definitely the key dates for this year. And as you can see, August 10th is that next big one, and we're July 23rd. So we're coming up. It's about a week, 2 weeks away. So please get that order in. Now, like they said, we've been selling a little bit earlier this year with July and August. Now with this, there's a lot of unknown this year. So one benefit for selling early is that your unit can earn 5% of online direct sales. All you have to do is just register your unit by August 15th. Also, Trails End has been offering a lot of discounts. 4th of July, they had a free shipping weekend. Like I said, this weekend, they're offering the $3 off. So you can really utilize these discounts that Trails End's offering. And, if it's kind of the early bird gets the worm. So if you start selling earlier, you definitely can get these discounts. And then the last thing you can see is there's an entrepreneur challenge. And this is for the first 200 scouts to hit the mark. And they'll receive a $200 in Amazon gift cards. So selling early in August especially can benefit you. There's a lot of things that Trails End is offering, and I'm pretty sure we'll see a couple more free shipping or $3 off weekends as the time goes on. So do I want to add anything, Dave?
No, great. That's great.
Perfect. So heading into the commission, after our first kickoff, we kind of went back and we want to support our units in being successful in any way possible. So we did a little restructure on the commission. You still can earn you can still earn up to 38% of the commission for the traditional popcorn sale. Just remember, bonus commission is given only if units have settled their account by December 2nd. Now, getting into it a little bit, the biggest thing we restructured this year is the 10-10 club. Now, last year, that was the 20-20 club. So if you complete any of the 1 out of the 3 below, which is you sell 10,000, sorry, it's technical, sell 10,000 in popcorn sales this year, or 10% increase in total popcorn sales from the 2019 amount, or your new unit, you definitely are in the 10-10 club. So definitely we restructured that for anyone who's in that first kickoff. For the 95% in the in-app, with this year, again, we have a lot of unknowns. So if you have all of your popcorn in the inventory or in the apps, we can manage your inventory. It's a lot easier to trade between units for popcorn, and it's just a lot easier to manage. So we really wanted to benefit if you were using the app or portal systems this year. And we'll kind of go over more of the benefits of the app and portal in a couple of slides. Still, any sales that happen direct to consumer, that is a flat 35%. And if a unit sells over 40,000 in popcorns, they receive the full 38%. Dave, is there anything you want to add on this one?
No, absolutely not. I think you're doing a great job of covering those. Some of the reasons for the changes in compared to previous years, the 10-10 club is really driven by some of the feedback that we received at the last kickoff. We know that the sale is most likely going to drop this year, but we don't. It's unrealistic to expect that our top performing units to sell over $20,000 to get a bonus commission. But we still want to provide that bonus commission so you can fund your scouting adventures. And the same with the other ones. They're really due to us having a little bit more insight into what's happening in the sale to know how much product we can bring in and limit the liability not only for the units but also for the council. The less product we have sitting in a storage room at the end of the sale, the more we can spend on scouting going forward. So that's what our goal is here this year, just not knowing what's going to happen with city regulations and county regulations. Charlie, I think there's a few questions right now that we can answer as we stay on topic with supplies. Okay. And so one of the questions is about laminated forms. Yes, in the past we've limited that to 2 per unit. I would agree. I think that if you want more than that, that is not a resource that we think should be necessarily handed between families and between scouts. And it's something that the council is more than willing to provide to your unit to be successful. So if you would like more than two, if you request them, we typically do two, but if you would like more than two, the best thing you could do is email Charlie with a number that you want, and we will make sure that we mail those out to you or have them ready for pickup at the council if that's the best way for you. But we are happy to mail them out to you as well, so you don't have to come there. The other question is if we order supplies, when will we get them? We have some laminated forms coming in next week, and it's about a 2 to 3 day turnaround for us to get them in bulk. So it's pretty quick. And as soon as we get them, we will start mailing out order forms. Charlie, you probably have, what, 20 different orders so far?
Yep.
From different units. So we'll start mailing those out next week, and you'll have them here real quick. And then the show and sell, we'll go ahead and answer that real quickly now. The Denver Area Council has not put a ban on show and sells this year. I know certain councils around the country are. We are leaving it up to the unit leadership to make those decisions on what is safe and what your scouts and families want to do. We understand that we have a very large council, considering that the Denver metro area as well as Western Colorado, and not every community is affected the same way right now. And so we want you and your chartered partner or your charter organization to create the policies. And maybe Mike, you might have a little bit more insight to what we're trying to do, but it's about keeping our scouts safe and our volunteers safe.
I think you're right on target, Dave, that we want to provide the units in their geographies, wherever that may be, to have the best opportunities. So that may be different for everyone. Under our Scouting at Home section on our website, we have a listing of how to follow that procedure for scheduling an activity or a camp out or something. There's kind of 5 steps that we've defined. I think that's the exact same thing that should be done. And Dave mentioned one, consulting your charter partner, obviously consulting the location that you're going to, and then following all of the current safety guidelines for your county. And there is now on that page on our website that I just mentioned, there is a one specific page on the state's website that lists all the counties with their variances. So you can very easily look for your county and what variance it may have been granted, so you don't have to sort through all kinds of stuff on your county website, hopefully to make that as efficient as possible. But I think it's really up to the PAC, the troop, the charter organization, figure out what's right for your families, and then participating in the sale in that way.
And then just quick, and it should be on the website to order those supplies. If not, I believe it is, but I did send out a email yesterday with that survey as well. So I'll take a look after this webinar and get that, but it really should be. So perfect. So getting a little bit into the leader portal. This portal for me has made things a lot easier. There's a lot of benefits it can do. As you can see, it manages inventory, coordinates storefronts and shifts. It's trying to make things a lot easier. If you're having trouble with it, please reach out to me or Trails End support. They've been very good personally. I've had to email them for a couple of things, and they've gotten back to me in a day. So please reach out if you're having problems with either the app or the portal. But again, this portal has been revamped this year, and it really is supposed to make things easier. And then going into the app a little bit more, it helps because it's right there. You can have it while doing online direct or selling. You can have it and they can do their order right there. I remember back when I used to do popcorn, this would have made things a lot easier, just to keep things organized and keep things in track. And also remember, you do get a 2% commission if at least 95% of your sale is tracked. So a little positive thing there. But again, if you have any questions on the website or the app, please reach out to me or Trails End. I know today's been a little, Trails End's been giving me a little trouble, but we got it figured out and it seems to be working now. So yeah, just reach out. But right now I'm going to turn it back over to Dave, and he's going to talk a little bit more about that online direct sales.
There we go. Unmuting helps. We know that storefront and door-to-door sales could potentially be a little bit of a struggle this year. We just don't know what regulations, what comfort levels are, and Trails End has really made some enhancements to try and follow through with making product available with limited interaction with customers and supporters of scouting here. And so the online direct is going to be one of the best ways that you can safely sell popcorn, as well as provide additional products that are not going to be available in our traditional sale here. And so the online direct, it started July 1st. So some of the keys to it, there's two ways to really do it. It's our typical, what we used to talk about was our online sales, where you had an individual scout page that you'd share out on social media or through email, and people would buy the product and it gets shipped direct to them. And so now they changed the name of that from online sales to online direct, or a direct to consumer is what you'll see a lot of different places. There's two ways to do it. You still have that dedicated sales page online that you can share out with the code, but you can also do it through the Scout app on your phone. So let's say you are going door to door, but you don't have product with you. You could take a order through the app and it would ship directly to that house. There is some contactless features to where you can send that order over to their phone, where they confirm it, they input their credit card information and send it back to the app. That is well above my technology use of how that works, but Trails End has confirmed that it does work. I'm not sure if anyone on this call has used it yet, but it's a really neat way to go around and socially distance and not have to even touch credit cards to collect payments, and then not have to follow up later and deliver popcorn. You could just deliver a thank you or something like that. And so on the next slide here, it talks about those two different ways that I just talked about: the share your page, which is the traditional online sale that we've done, but also the orders in the app there. And so credit card sales are really going to be the safest, most beneficial to the scout as well. And we'll get to that when we talk here in a second about the Trails End rewards. But for every credit card sale during the traditional sale, so you have product in hand and you take a credit card, your scout is going to earn 1.5 points for every dollar sold through the app. By taking credit card instead of cash. A lot of benefits to that. You don't have to handle cash, you don't have to count cash, it's all done through the app. It also lowers the units bill at the end of the sale, because it's already money that's been paid towards that amount that will be owed to council. You can do it through the hardware. You can see the picture here on the slides. There's different plugins that you can swipe a card. You also have the contactless readers that work. And in the end, you can always manually input. If you don't have any of those, you can always manually input the credit card information directly into the app as well. So they're definitely pushing credit card sales by rewarding scouts there. And so talking about rewards, we'll move over to the rewards here. The rewards program is similar to what it was last year, in that it is Amazon gift cards again, and not the prizes that were delivered to all the different units years ago. Instead of a dollar amount like it was last year, the very first level last year started at $350. The first reward this year starts at 400 points. It's a point system, as you can see here, that there's different ways to earn points, and they're all valued at a little bit differently. So the traditional popcorn sale, where someone hands you a $20 bill, you get 1 point per dollar spent on that. As we talked about earlier, that 1.5 points for every credit card sale, but what we've hinted to and alluded to is that online direct, and the big push to not carry a lot of inventory, but to push people to get stuff shipped to them is online direct. And you can see that here in the reward system as well, to where for every online direct order, the scout will earn 2 points for that sale. And so if you do all of your sales, and last year you sold $1,000, you got the $1,000 reward at $40. This year, if you do $1,000 in online direct, you're going to get an $80 gift card for the scout to use on anything they want on Amazon. So it doubles the reward that they actually have available. It provides a lot more opportunity. And so you could sell $200 online direct and get your first prize at that 400 points. And right now, the nice thing for the units is that up until August 15th, any sale that happens before that qualifies for an extra 5% for the unit to use as an Amazon gift card. And so it's a bonus commission, essentially, in the form of Amazon gift cards directly from Trail's End. There, and so if you just go to the next slide here, this is the quick level here, and it talks a little bit. This is Trail's End's reasoning on why scouts love it, as well as why leaders love it. And some of the feedback I heard, mostly from the leaders, is that it made it a lot easier. I remember 2 years ago, the very last prizes that we delivered was at Scout Show, because we couldn't actually get them. So could you imagine finishing as a scout, finishing your sale in November and not getting your prize until after April? It's a little disheartening. And so this makes your job a little bit easier as a leader, to where you go in, make sure the numbers look right, and you hit approve, and then you're done. The rewards get emailed directly to the email associated with that scout's account, and then it's their responsibility to claim it and utilize it on anything that they want on Amazon. So it's pretty exciting there. The next topic we want to talk about is our product lineup. Obviously, with changes that Trail's End has made and the demand that they have for certain products, they're not able to safely give us everything that we've typically had on our product lineup. And so this page here is all about the traditional products that we'll be able to bring into the council, that will be available to all of our units to order and go door to door, or do storefronts, or take orders, however you want to utilize it. This is here. So we have our cheese lovers and our caramel and our popping corn. There is a new product. The Unbelievable Butter is a bagged product this year, at least in the traditional sale. And then the new product of a blazing hot popcorn is going to be available for the traditional sale. Now, as we mentioned, the online direct is going to have additional products. That's including our chocolate products that have been there, the microwave butter. Unfortunately, there is not going to be a kettle corn this year. I think I have the last box produced ever right here. So I'll take bids if that's the one you need. For a nice donation to council, that's the one that you get. The chocolate products, we're not going to get any in person, unfortunately. It's my favorite stuff to buy, but you can order it online direct. And there's also some bundles. One of the things I've seen on the Trail's End Facebook page, and they listed here, is that the shipping for the bundle is based on the 3 products or the 2 products that are based in it. So you'll see bundles for 2 are $8.98, bundles of 3 are $9.97. These are all set by Trail's End on how they're doing that. But as Charlie said earlier, there will be reduced shipping weekends like this weekend. There's 24 hours starting Friday tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time to 6 p.m. Saturday on Mountain Time is that it's a $3 off shipping. So take advantage of that. Paying $4.99 for shipping is pretty reasonable comparatively to the $7.99, especially when you're buying some of these bundles out there. Let me, I'm going to stop real quick here and look at some of the questions and answers before we get into the Trails End and the resources here. Looks like there's for 0 returns. Can you please clarify that? Absolutely, we can. And so for the bonus structure, and it was similar to last year. Last year we limited the returns to 5% of what you ordered through your traditional sale. So that for this year, since there's 2 different orders before returns, those orders will be combined into, let's say you took that you ordered $5,000 worth of product. In order to get that 2% bonus on that product, you can only return, but you can't return anything. You have to keep all that product that you ordered. And then this year, we've also limited the return that at maximum you can return 5%. We really want you to be cognizant in what you're ordering and taking out. We can't have, in the past, we've had units check out $20,000 and return 12,000 of it to us. That's not something that we're able to do this year. We're trying to limit as much return as we can, just to, one, for the safety, the health safety of our staff, and we're not handling a lot of face-to-face interaction, but also we're nervous about unit financial responsibility, as well as the council, to make sure that we're not overcommitting to the product that we buy. And that's why we added that second pickup, so there'll be 3 pickups to make sure that we space it out. Is the bonus for the scout or the unit? The 5% bonus for the next till August 15th is for the unit. So it really encourages the unit to promote a lot of scouts selling. Now, the first 200 nationally scouts that sign up for that challenge, the top seller challenge, and sell 2,500 do get a bonus gift card personally if they're able to achieve that. There is not caramel corn with nuts. That as a product that Trails End got rid of. Gail, the distribution dates for Western Slope are the same dates as Denver. We deliver product out there to Grand Junction and make sure that you're able to get it on the same dates. And we can talk about that and make sure we work with the units out there to deliver the popcorn where it needs to go. I'm going through the questions. For a touchless way to accept credit cards, there are 2 options. The council does not provide any touchless swipes or contactless payment sources, but there are ways that you can just manually type it if someone reads their card to you, or you're able to go buy one of those. I know some scouts qualified for it individually if they sold over a certain amount. The Trails End provided that. But we do not have any of the touchless credit card processing ones. The Unbelievable Butter pre-popped, yes, it is. The one that we're getting for the traditional sale is a pre-popped bag. The one that you can get online is a microwave. Cindy, talking about doing storefronts, can the unit do an online direct order for a customer and have the sale divided between the scouts assigned to that shift? I believe so. I believe you can choose whoever's in that shift and divide it by whatever sales method happened. But we'll have to get back. Let me talk to Chuck about that one, and we can follow up and provide some insights in the next email that goes out to all of our popcorn kernels regarding that. That's a great question. Yeah, absolutely. We can back up the slides as we're answering some of these questions, Amanda, and show you that what sales products are going to be there. And then can you please, the chocolate products, what I have seen from Trails End is that they're going to ship in October for all chocolate products. They have to wait until the temperature cools down a little bit to be able to ship it so they don't melt. I believe the date is, they have not committed to an actual official date, but I believe it is October is what they've informally said. Great. How does the heat of the blazing hot compare? I have no idea. I've not tasted it yet. I would love to taste it. I know Mike Fifehouse here loves the jalapeno, and so I'm sure he can't wait for the blazing hot flavor.
Dave, I think we should recommend to Trails End they send one bag to everybody on this call so we can all do a comparison.
Yes. I will make the recommendation and see what they say. Keith, your question is about having inventory, and I'm going to make the assumption here that that is about those small pickups we've done out the back dock. We are trying to eliminate those small pickups, and that's why we've added a third pickup throughout this. Our goal is to limit as much interaction. Unfortunately, it's really hard right now for Charlie and for Juju to be safe, to keep our staff safe. We're trying to limit the amount of people coming into the building, as well as handoff of inventory. We will have some. We always try to have a little bit there, but it won't be a lot. And that's why we added that third pickup right in the middle, to where if you order a little bit to begin with, and it goes away really quickly, we'll have a little bit again in October, and then we can do the final orders in November to help manage that inventory. The prices shown are up to date, and they're also on the order forms that we have. We've kept everything the same. I know that some other councils raise prices or lower them depending on what area they are in. We kept everything the same based on Trails End recommended retail, so it matches the online sale. So you'll get the same pricing everywhere. The logins from last year still work for the app. And so, and all the information that you entered in there last year should be there. So if you entered customer information, it's supposed to be there. So you know who ordered what, and you can go back to those same people. The laminated sheet, and Charlie, remind me, it's going to be the order form side. So it's going to have the product here that you can see, but it also has, I believe, the prize. The prize flyer on it. So it talks a little bit about what the scout can earn and what they're trying to earn to help motivate them. There are a lot of slides available, Terry. There's actually, and we'll get to this resource, and maybe we'll take a break from the Q&A and jump into the resources real quick. It might answer some of these questions. But let's skip over this one here, Charlie, and go over to the resources tab. This here is all the resources that are going to be available for you as leaders, as well as scouts, directly from Trails End. And so you hopefully have seen, and these are all available on our website too for you to download. And so if you text the keywords to that number on the screen, it'll email you a link on how to download these things. And so there's actually a unit kickoff presentation that you can do, and they have a guidelines for how to do it virtually you can actually find as well, that have a lot of these similar slides in it. This is our council. We actually modified this one from the Trails End Council Kickoff resources because we wanted to get the information correct and direct from Trails End there. But there's also the Colonel Guide, the Kickoff, the webinars. I know a lot of our colonels attend the Trails End webinars. A lot of good information about being successful in the cell and how to use the leader portal there. And there's also the Facebook group, the national Facebook group with thousands of people on it. That as you have questions for other unit leaders, you're able to put it on there and get answers almost instantly. So you don't have to wait for Trails End to respond or for the council to respond. Really, that you can get feedback in real time from unit leaders like yourself all across the country. And then of course for the scouts, there's a lot of resources down there, from downloading the app, a guide on how to get started. I really liked this How to Sell $1,000 Social Distancing. It's all about how to email out the people to target, as well as just that general outreach that you can do. And they stand by that it works. So if you follow it, I'd be curious to get some feedback on, and I can deliver to Trails End. That's all they need, is more feedback from me. Great. So we talked about the webinars here. There's different ones. You can sign up on the Trails End. It's www.trails-end.com/webinar, and it will list all of the different webinars that are available for you to join as unit leaders there. And then we talked a little bit about that hosting a kickoff. A lot of units, because they can't meet in person, are hosting a virtual kickoff similar to this. And so that's one of the things that if you don't even have a Zoom and you'd like us to help you set up a meeting, that's one of the resources that we have available as a council to help your unit be successful. You can reach out to Charlie, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to your district executive, and we will help you set up a Zoom meeting if you don't already have an account, to where they can actually get on and you can talk face-to-face still with all your parents and scouts for that matter. So we just want to make sure you're there. And then the last thing that we have before I jump back into the Q&A are really our resources for support. Charlie talked a lot about the Trails End support at trailsend.com. They've been great in responding this year, so that's been fantastic. You can also visit their FAQs page. Their website has a ton, and their Facebook group really is a good resource for quick answers or just listening to see what's working out there as we get into the sale. There's some great volunteers that are willing to help and offer as much advice as possible. And then the 3 staff advisors this year, Charlie, myself, and Eric, are more than willing to brainstorm with you or provide any resources that we can do to help throughout the next several months. So don't hesitate. Charlie's going to be your front person, and the person his full-time job is basically popcorn this year. And so we're calling him internally the Prince of Popcorn. I don't think he loves it yet, but we are pretty much good fans of it. So I think it's going to stick, Charlie. Sorry. So let's jump back in. I'll remind you, if you do have questions, type them into that Q&A section. We will stay on. I will answer as many questions as we can that are asked tonight. So feel free to do it. Uptick the ones that we haven't answered, but I'll jump right back in and go there. So yes, good question. So we had some top seller prizes. So one of the things that I can guarantee is going to happen, and so the question is, so you guys don't have to read my mind, is the Council Pacific prizes, like the Broncos and Cap Days, and are the events from last year's sale officially canceled? There will be specific council prizes, the bonus prizes as we call them. The one is a participation patch. We did that last year. There is a contest out there right now that we've asked, rather than us designing the patch, we've asked for you to promote it out to your scouts to design the patch this year. So we have, in the next 2 weeks, we're going to collect those patch designs, and we'll find a way to vote on them. And that scout or that leader will have their patch design be our official popcorn patch. We will do a top seller council strip as well that we did last year, and we're brainstorming on what that amount looks like. We might do a percentage. The top 3% of scouts that participate or something like that gets that. To the other bonus prizes, we're still exploring that. We have no idea the next time we'll be allowed to host large events. And so for our Broncos Day, there are closer to 600 people that show up to that with parents. That's not going to happen anytime soon. We know that. The Broncos aren't allowing small groups into their stadium right now. And so we will find a way to reward all of our scouts from last year, even though those events were canceled. We are trying to find a meaningful opportunity to reward those scouts, and still try to partner with the Broncos, because that was something that a lot of people really liked. For CAP, the hard part is we are limited on the amount of people that can come in there, but there could be some opportunity for smaller groups to come in and still have a fun night. We will continue to brainstorm that. We just don't have the roles haven't been in our favor right now, and quite frankly, they shouldn't be. We should be staying safe. So we want to make sure our scouts are staying safe first, and we're there. I'm going to read this next one. I see many on Facebook Scout group members boycotting Trails End because of the price hike compared to product received. Why is using match these high races? I personally don't know. I can't say it's an easy product to sell if you're trying to sell a $20 bag of popcorn. That's not the way that I would want to approach it. What we recommend is we're not selling popcorn. We are selling scouting. We are selling camping. We are selling leadership and character development. And when you're encouraging your scouts to be out in front of people, or to be sending emails, or doing a video that you can post on social media, it's talking about the adventures that scout gets to do. It's talking about their experience when they went to camp last year, or they won their Pinewood Derby, and what they truly learned by developing that plan to create their car. That's what we're selling, and then we're giving a thank you of a popcorn. That's amazing. Your $20 donation to scouting, I'm going to give you this blazing hot popcorn. I know it's not that simple. The popcorn is what brings people over. But as much as we can, you try to talk away from price, and you talk about impact. That's the only way we're going to be successful. These are similar prices to the ones they've been in years past. The only big change is the online butter microwave is they reduced the number of individual packets, and it used to be an 18 pack, and now it's a 20 pack, or now it's a 12 pack, sorry. And that's simply due because they can't produce enough to keep it on the shelves at grocery stores. They are so far behind in those orders that we're even a little bit lucky that they're allowing us to get any, I think. I do think that second pickup, we haven't officially made this policy, but the second pickup, we're probably going to allow individual containers so that you can fill. We're trying to be as flexible as we possibly can. That first pickup is going to be full cases. It's going to be the easiest, and you can still return full cases. We're up to the 5% max. But for that second order, we are leaning towards packages, and it sounds like it's the second. We've had a couple questions on this, and Mike, if you approve that, I will say yes. All right, Mike's in charge.
Considered approved.
Great. So we will, for the second one, allow individual packages. There we go. The screen jumps around. I don't know. So the question is if you order chocolate, but you order something else in that package, will the entire order ship in October. I think that's correct as well. Otherwise, it's 2 shipments and twice the amount of shipping cost that they would have to send out. So my guess, if you order something now that includes chocolate, you won't get it until October. The question is, have we added a storefront calculation so all sales for a whole weekend can be split evenly between the scouts working that weekend? I don't believe that's an option. I think it's by day, by shift, or by scout. That is something that Rebecca, I would post on the Trails End Facebook page to see if that's something that they can work on, or at least put it into their plan for future years. But I don't think that's going to be available this year. That's all entirely through the Trails End app. The another question on the touch list regarding the shareable online cart. I have not seen a graphic that shows that screen, but I'm sure there is one. And so hopefully I'll reach out to Trails End on that and see if they have it. I believe they talk about it in the trainings when you do a webinar on how that works, but we will see if we can find like an infographic on encouraging that social distancing. King Super said there. Sorry, King Super said they are probably going to cancel our show and sell, so we can set up show and sells at other locations. And do we need permission from the council? No, we definitely encourage individual units to set up as many show and sells as they are comfortable with and that you have connections with. The feedback we received is that King Supers probably isn't going to let them happen this year based on some corporate policy. And so I would definitely encourage you to utilize your contacts to smaller stores or to community events if that's happening, and you feel that's the right thing to do. But go out there, and the big stores probably aren't going to allow it much this year. That's correct. For the DIC is not planning to have a lot of popcorn at our council headquarters. We will have some available for emergency purposes. But the general rule of thumb is that we really want you to utilize the system and utilize that second pickup to fulfill your orders. And so utilize them as take orders. Or if you're using the app, we'll have real-time stats on what's available across the council. We really want to, if a unit is not selling or you're struggling, you took out a little bit too much popcorn, we are encouraging you to transfer it between units. So if there's units out there, so if you're not on our DAC Facebook page, I absolutely recommend you join that. It's one of the best places where you can arrange a transfer of product, and you can transfer it all through the app. And so there's no approval by, it's approved by both unit leaders on the accepting unit and the receiving or the giving unit, that you're able to do it completely without anyone from the council involved. It makes it a lot faster. The Glenwood Adventure Park is definitely something that we're considering for Western Slope, as well as anyone from Denver that was a top seller for last year that might be able to go there if they're willing to. So thank you, Gail. Yes, the final order is also individual packages. Since there's no returns after that, we want you to be able to fulfill your take orders as you need. So I'm new and having issues with ordering online via Trails End. Yeah, and go ahead and related if we need to. Then great. Yes. Thank you, Susan. And then Keith, I went to local session where we had, he told me they are all canceled. It's in Conifer. Yeah, I unfortunately, I do think King Soopers is probably not going to be an option this year. And I would say a lot of our sales are through King Soopers. So it's the storefronts are going to have to be creative if we're going to do that. The storefront sales. I'd be curious, and the nice thing about our Facebook groups and our local Denver Area Council Facebook popcorn group is that we can share this type of information, that as someone makes a connection and they can't fill all those spots, then hopefully we can share that out with other units, and so we can be effective in helping all of scouting be successful. Unfortunately, there are no samples out there. Trails End did away with their sample kits even before I was involved, so 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, which I heard were a nice way to do your popcorn kickoff, but they don't provide those anymore. I apologize. We will definitely do $1,000 club of some sort this year. We just don't know what that looks like. It may be a separate prize or an item that's not available, a branded scout out item that shows that they were a top seller. We might look at something like that instead of like a big, large gathering, just because we know they might get canceled again. And we want to make sure that we reward all of our scouts for participating. That's why we do the patch. We don't want to get rid of that participation, because just being a part of the sale, every scout who makes that sale is going to benefit through their leadership skills, through their development skills, as well as their feeling of giving back to scouting, whether it's through the unit or all the way up to the council level as well. And so there is unfortunately no scholarship anymore. The Trails End announced at the beginning of this year that they were discontinuing the scholarship going forward. If scouts were already in the scholarship, that will still be paid off or paid out whenever they go to college. But unfortunately, and it's something that I wasn't very excited about. My oldest is eligible to start selling next year, and I was pretty pumped to get him that scholarship when he was 5 and have him sell for the next 12 years. So, but that went away for me, and unfortunately for everyone in the country. There's a question on submitting an idea, submitting patch ideas. Those patch ideas can be emailed to Charlie directly. We will share information on pickup locations as soon as they're all finalized. They will all be finalized in the next week or two. We have a lot of warehouses that just have not been responsive as they're trying to figure out how to keep their employees safe as well. But we have to make our decisions here in the next couple of weeks, and we will share that out with everyone exactly where your assignment is, and it will be in the Trails End app as well. The Friday Frenzies again. Yes, I do believe we're going to do some sort of that. We want to encourage continued sales throughout the entire thing. They may look a little bit differently because the hours, without the storefronts and door-to-doors availability that we used to have, the amount of hours could be a lot less that's available for you to hit that. So we might do it more on overall sales, that for a certain amount of sales that you get a certain number of tickets into that week's Friday Frenzy. But there will definitely be Friday Frenzy opportunities. Are they Rebecca, I had not heard about the phasing out of the scholarship. the first time I had heard was that it was discontinued, and I heard that this year. Mike, have you seen anything about that, or Charlie?
The information that I read is it's a complete shutdown of the scholarship. There's not a phase out, so it was just ended immediately. There's some terms, as Dave mentioned, for those that are involved, but there is no phase out for new scouts or no opportunity for new scouts to enter.
That's what I understood as well. And so it is 7 o'clock, and we appreciate everyone being on. I will stay on and keep answering these questions, and feel free to stay on and join us for as long as there's questions popping up. So definitely appreciate that. The Friday Frenzy Inn is a weekly prize for about 6 to 8 weeks during the popcorn sale. We will start it in August, where weekly we give out prizes to different scouts based on an action that they did. In the past, it was a number of hours. So they could qualify for the Friday Frenzy Awards by selling up to, I think it was every 8 hours of sales that they did, they were eligible for one entry. And so you went in and filled out a survey, and you got entered into our sheet. We were also able to give away two tickets to a Rapids game for the first 200 scouts that met that limit. The Rapids game obviously is a lot harder to do this year since they're not meeting and they're not allowing fans in. And when they do, it'll be a very limited amount. But we will find some really good prizes. And if you have suggestions on things out there, feel free to email Charlie or myself, and we'll see what we could do. I assume, Stacy, that's for the scholarship. We'll have to look into that. I had not heard this before, so it would be news to me as well. Oh, I see. So it's for anyone that was enrolled prior can still build onto it.
Yes, Dave, I was just looking at it as well. So she's correct. If you were already in or qualified prior to December 31st, 2019, they will still earn 4% of their qualified sales for 2020, 2021, and 22. But no new scouts will be eligible. So there's no new qualifiers if they sell this year.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I had, Charles N did not communicate that to us at all. That's unfortunate they didn't, but that's good for the scouts that are in, that they're able to continue growing those. Yeah. Teresa, Charlie, can you write Teresa's name down and reach out to her and make sure she has the right directions? Great. Perfect. Thank you, Susan. Yes, the popcorn resources is going into one of our sliders on our website, so that you'll be able to, right on the main page of our home site, go directly to the popcorn resources there to be successful. So we will make sure that it is visible, because it is kind of hard to find right now. I agree. Great. Thank you for all the clarification on the scholarship. This is great. You're welcome, Melinda. Happy to help. Yeah, Austin, yes, absolutely. You still need to sign up through the Trails End portal, and then you just don't order any product. This will enable you to view what sales are happening online, track it in real time still for all of your scouts. If you're doing any scout unit incentives, you'll be able to get all those reports there. So the unit, and plus it helps once it's time to collect money for the unit, all your commissions, you have to do that through the portal as well. And so that'll be key, because if you're only doing online direct sales, you won't owe any money to the council, and Trails End will owe you money directly. So they'll have to send it directly to you through your bank account. Yes, this is being recorded. And so you can find this one as well as the one previously from a few weeks ago on our YouTube channel, but Charlie will also send it out there. The page should be available. My guess is there was just a typo.
I was doing some edits, so maybe that might have done something. But
Oh.
I did look on the main page, and it is the third thing that scrolls by, and it says fun scouting adventures, and there's popcorn and some scouts. So we do have it on the main page.
Great. Thank you, Charlie. Well, I think we are successfully out of questions. I was going to look at the chat real quick, but there's some amazing information, and we definitely appreciate everyone taking it's been in the last hour with us. If you have additional questions as you start getting into the sale, reach out to us with anything, big, small. We're here to help you be successful in this popcorn sale. We're in it every day. We understand that it's daunting. It is a lot of reward, though, and we want you to understand that by providing this opportunity to your scouts, that you're not only helping them fund their adventures, but you're teaching them some very valuable skills to communicate out there with adults, to help try to sell a product, things that you can't just do every day. So we definitely appreciate everything that you do as volunteers, and if there's anything that we can do as staff, always reach out to us. Charlie or Mike, is there anything you'd like to say?
I'll just echo the thank you. It's an incredible effort that you do. It's a huge benefit that you provide. We appreciate what you do, and let us know where and how we can help.
Great. Have a wonderful evening, and we hope to see you soon. Take care.